Howdy folks, this is Jimmy, otherwise known as 2 Soup for You. I'm here with another pre-release kit and I'm going to be trying to construct a sealed deck. So, right off the bat, looks like our promo is Scourge of the Skyclaves. Interesting one for sure. We'll see if we can do anything with that. We'll try to crack open some of these packs.
Yeah, the one that shares the name with it.
So, pack number 1.
Alright.
Gonna get rid of those. And for, that's a foil. Keep it over here. We have a black rare, so that's Shadow's Verdict. Exile all creatures and planeswalkers with converted mana 3 or less from the battlefield, and all creatures and planeswalker cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from all graveyards. So that, unless I'm playing a very greedy deck, is probably not going to be going in, but we'll hang on to it anyway. I'm going to separate all my cards by color and creatures versus non-creature spells, so I'm just going to take a minute here.
Previous ones.
I got one rogue so far.
Nahiri's Binding, a Dreadworm, nice. Shadow Stinger, Relic Vial. That land. Okay, moving on to pack 2. Nothing's really jumping out at me from these cards. Would be fun to play the Scourge of the Skyclaves if we get enough support in black.
That's not horrible.
Alright, Zulaport Duelist, so that's a couple solid blue creatures. Oh, I forgot I'm supposed to grab that rare. So the rare, another black one, Null Priest of Oblivion. So that's 2 mana. Got a kicker ability, Menace and Lifelink. When Null Priest Oblivion enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Alright, so I'm already thinking we're probably gonna be in black. So we've got a Nimana Skitter Sneak, just a solid 4 CMC to support that. Let's see, Felidar, ooh, another Dreadworm, and this time it's a showcase. Having a couple Dreadworms is definitely not bad, a great target for that kicked Oblivion Cleric. Got Expedition Diver, Allied Assault, Arbor Mage, Soft Consumption, sure. Alright, on to pack 3. Hoping for some more solid stuff. Oh my. Phylath World Sculptor in foil. So when Phylath World Sculptor enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each basic land you control. And then it's got landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put 4 +1/+1 counters on target plant you control. Wow, that would be a really fun card to play. I've already played with some Gruul cards this evening. And I'm not sure if I'll have enough support for that, but we'll see. There have been a couple of occasions where I was able to construct 2 pretty okay sealed decks out of opposing colors. So we'll see if that's something that's possible this evening. Scorch Rider, Broken Wing, sideboard card. Let's see, Drana's Silencer, which is fine if you've got a lot of rogues. Another showcase Dreadworm. I'm getting the hint. Oh, I failed to separate my white cards properly. Let me fix that up really quick. Aura. Alright. Oh, just set these down. So I can hear that Garrison over there is opening the same rares as I am again.
What's that?
I said I hear you're opening the same rares as me.
Oh, am I?
Phylath.
That's not good. Oh, yeah.
Except mine's foil. How's yours look?
Foil.
Ooh, boy, gotta step up the game.
Yeah. Alright,
so we did get an Izzet flip land here. I'm not sure how useful that's going to be. But we do have a base camp, which is interesting. I guess I'll put that over here, move these dice out of the way. Got a Ruin Crab, which I think is a fun card to play. And doing Mara Mystic. So I'm not super familiar with this one. It's a 3 CMC flyer that's 1, a blue, and a red. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery or wizard spell, a Mara Mystic gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So that's potentially very good with support, but it definitely seems like something that's harder to use in sealed.
And I don't know how I can break it with
Alright. So that
plus green warden.
Oh, right. So this Phylath and this land were from the same pack because that Phylath was my foil slot. So that's pretty neat. Let's get this pack.
We're gonna have to look here.
Okay. Take out the token in the land, and then another foil. So that's anti-cognition. And then a Felidar retreat in Showcase. So this is an enchantment with landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. Create a 2/2 white cat, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. And they gain vigilance until end of turn. That really seems pretty sweet. That's, it's too bad that our white seems to not have a lot of support right now. Smite the monsters. We do have a couple solid pieces of removal in white, so we'll keep that in mind. Into the Royal. Gnarlid Colony. It's cool. Bubble Snare. Blues. Blues non-creature spells are looking pretty okay. Feed the Swarm. Kendraboa. That's interesting. A stacking effect with Felidar Retreat. Could be pretty good. We have an Iridescent Horn Beetle. And an Akum Warrior. Okay. 2 packs left.
No, tell me I can't do this again. I have 2 white cards.
Okay.
Alright, so the
Token and land. Rare. A Lotus Cobra.
Not coming to I got a Lotus Cobra too!
Yeah. Yep. Well, congrats on that one.
Thanks. I needed it.
So we do have the Lotus Cobra and the Phylath together now. I don't think our red-green looks great still. So probably isn't going to be what we do today, but... Resolute Strike, Sneaking Guide, cool. Expedition Skulker, Might of Mirasa. Okay. Dauntless Unity.
Do I have any?
Highborn Vampire, Snarecaster, Royal Eruption.
Exactly 0. I've not
Strength of Solidarity, Living Tempest. Okay, that definitely beefs up blue. And a second Ruin Crab. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Interestingly, a second Umara Mystic as well.
Tormenting Voice.
That makes an interesting argument for, is it?
Like with ancient.
I think the red pool is not quite good enough to support it, but maybe you simply splash red for the Umara Mystics and a Royal Eruption. But we'll take a look at that once we've opened our 6th pack. I'm really hoping to get something that just seems to solidly support existing cards that we already have. Like a bomb rare, essentially. Let's see what we got. Archpriest of Iona. That is pretty questionable, I think. We only have 4 white creatures. And we're so unlikely to have a full party, so it doesn't really get to use its ability. I'm just not quite sure that that's good enough. Oh, it's a rare, so I'll put it over here. Synchronized Spellcraft, improving the red pool. Royal Mage. Adventure awaits Psychic Colossus. It seems not bad. Disenchant. Turn Timber Ascetic. Stonework Pack Beast. Malakir Blood Priest. Core Blade Master. Equipped warriors you control have double strike. I think we only have 2 pieces of equipment. Taunting Arbor Mage, Tangled Florahedron. Wow. Alright. So, I think we rule out Iona. The rest of these...
Black's got removal.
I mean, Shadow's Verdict is just so... Verdict is so unlikely. Could try to... Let's see where our high CMC creatures are. So looking at green, we actually seem to have a pretty solid curve.
I have and I have a total of 5 clerics. I guess I have 4.
But the cards themselves are pretty lackluster on average. Taking a look at...
This is the only rogue and blue I have. Which
Phylath does counters. Felidar Retreat does counters as well, but that is 3 colors. We do have a Lotus Cobra to try and support 3 colors.
Each color has
However,
it's deficient in 1.
Yeah.
That would probably be a Gruul with a splash white. So let's see what we have in red. Akum Warrior, 6 mana, it's fine. Scorch Rider, we've got a couple of. That's a 4/3 with Kicker. If you pay 6 mana to cast it using the Kicker ability, it gains haste as a 4/3. Having a couple sneaking guides is kind of cool. But unfortunately, we don't seem to have much that we actually care to sneak through. What I'm thinking of in particular is that 3 CMC Goblin, which lets you exile a card off the top and play it that turn if it deals combat damage to a player. That is particularly nice to use a Sneaking Goblin on, but we just don't see that right now. So there is... We could try to go Temur route instead. That would be interesting. Because we've got a land to support it, we've got the Lotus Cobra, we've got the Phylath, we've got what seems like a pretty solid collection of creatures, and not only do we have the 1 Ruin Crab, but we have 2 Ruin Crabs. In our green creatures, I remember seeing the... let's see, where did it go? Ah, it's hiding from us right here. The Kazandu Stomper, which returns 2 lands to our hand, making it easy to continue to mill our opponent if that's the plan that we try to go with. And while we're threatening to mill our opponent simply by playing lands, we've got flyers like Living Tempest, we've got Expedition Diviner, 2 of them in fact, which is pretty solid. Zulaport Duelist for some interesting instant speed interaction. And we actually have 2 Tazim Royal Mages. So that potentially returns instant and sorcery cards that we'd like to see again. Looking at blue, we seem to have quite a lot of cards that we would like to play. I'm not sure how many of them are instants and sorcerers we could return. Bubble Snare is a solid enchantment. Into the Royal is definitely something we'd like to return. Chilling Trap is interesting. We could probably get away with running it if we were in Temur. Although, yeah, it seems we only have 1 wizard in red. But quite a few wizards in our blue. So Chilling Trap is a good possibility. Anti-Cognition.
I played the Stonework Pack Beast, I think, every time I've had it.
Yeah, since it removes the restriction, if our opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, this becomes just a counter spell for creatures and planeswalkers. Does not allow our opponent to pay 2 to avoid that. And then we also get to Scry. Another Chilling Trap. That's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. So it seems maybe Simic is our strongest bet.
So if I'm playing Crawling Barrens, the Overge Pathway is a free card.
And truthfully, we do have our Lotus Cobra and a base camp, so this might be and a Stonework Pack Beast.
know if Sajiri shelters.
On top of getting one of the rare lands, we probably have, I mean, quite a lot of fixing here. Looking at the green non-creatures, it seems like we don't have any ramp or anything that lets us search for particular basics in our library. But yeah, I wanna try to evaluate black before we rule it out, because I did think early on that it was pretty strong, but you can see the only removal we ended up getting is right here. It's Feed the Swarm, which comes at a pretty hefty life cost if we're trying to get rid of our opponent's larger threats. We got that one piece of removal and not a lot of other non-creatures, so I'm just not sure if I can justify that. Although Null Priest of Oblivion is pretty tempting. The paying 6 to get this guy down, which has Menace and Lifelink, although it's only a 2/1, it returns a very strong card to our battlefield. So if we were, for instance, we could be playing Jund, that would mean getting Phylath, the World Sculptor, back. It could mean getting our Kazandu Stomper back, maybe getting more landfall triggers. It doesn't really seem like it's gonna be good enough.
Sounds like he's got the same issue over there.
Really, the only thing I think that would be a real powerhouse to return that I'm looking at here is Phylath. Huh. Still take a quick peek through here. Blood Priest deals direct damage based on your party size. Expedition Skulker is a death touch creature, probably pretty reliably. Dreadworms. Another Silencer. You know, there does seem to be pretty okay payoff. Oh man, this is tough. I'm actually not quite sure which direction I want to be shifting here. So I guess we're gonna say that white's gone. We're just not even gonna think about it today. White is over, and that includes, maybe we'll say it does not include Felidar Retreat for now. There's the possibility that we can do some splashing based on all of the fixing that we have access to. And do we want a green? So the thing about trying to play Phylath and using our fixing is that base camp does not work with Phylath. It is simply an elemental. But golly, that landfall trigger, so spicy. What I'm thinking right now is I like blue and green the most. So we're gonna scoot all of our red cards over here. We're gonna scoot these black cards over here. This is a creature, it belongs up there.
I'm looking to actually see.
Move these artifacts out of the way.
Yes, I'm looking.
Yeah. Having to remember these Umara Mystics, too, it does seem to make a stronger case for going that Temur route. Although maybe we try to go for 4 colors. All the same, I'm going to lay out these green cards, try to get a better sense, again, of what these creatures look like. So, turn 1, Death Touch. Super. A little bit of ramp. Awesome. Gnarlid Colony, so this is a bear, I think. It does give my creatures with counters on them trample. Taunting Arbor Mage is cute, probably not going to do a lot for me. Snarecaster is not really very strong. Horn Beetle, at the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 green insect creature token for each +1/+1 counter you put on creatures under your control this turn. So that's great with Phylath. That's really great. Stomper. And Ascetic.
I think I'm probably going to be.
So I would just take out all of these, I think. The 2 Arbor Mages and the Snarecaster. Snarecaster could definitely be a sideboard card, but these guys, I think we're done so. So, set them up there out of the way. Looking at our non-creatures, Strength of Solidarity. I did not like this card when I tried to play it before. Adventure Awaits. Finds a creature for us? Sure. Might of Mirasa. Solid maybe. Broken Wings, sideboard card. So we can play some green creatures. This is an awkward number of color to have in a deck, I feel. Let's assume we're going to be trying to play Phylath. Sideboard cards up here. Let's put some blue cards into the mix. So, think Ruin Crab, Ruin Crab. It's pretty okay. It's pretty defensive.
Trying to make 6 cuts.
Having 3 turn 1 plays, 1 Death Touch, 2 0/3s. Add in this Living Tempest right here. Our Expedition Diviners, we definitely want to have both of these in here. Royal Mage is super cool if we can get up that high. And, you know, I guess 6 mana is not actually that much of an ask for that kicker. I think that's pretty reasonable, and we do have enough things that we would like, especially, you know, these cantrips. Like, that could potentially be very good. Because playing the Royal Mage to get a Chilling Trap back, for instance, we now have a wizard on the field to use the Chilling Trap. The Zulaport Duelist, I don't know about that. I don't know that we need to mill people. I don't know that the combat trick is super useful in itself. We're going to put it up here for now. So looking at these, we'll say Bubble Snare for sure. Anticognition is going to be a maybe. Bane Veil. Don't think so. Don't think today. Glacial Grasp draws us a card, so yeah, we'll do it. Why not? Into the Royal for sure. Into the Royal, definitely. And we'll keep these Chilling Traps up here as a maybe. So right now, I think we have some okay instants and sorceries to grab back with the Royal Mages.
I think it's through here. I think it's like spare supplies.
Adding in these Umar Mystics
help me filter mana if I need to.
makes our curve a little bit better, assuming we can hit that mana. And we must not forget the important Lotus Cobra. So it looks like we've got a pretty okay mix of just big creatures and then also potentially powerful evasive creatures. So the Lotus Cobra will help us fix and get up larger. Let's count what we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22. And that's 24 including these 2 lands, but I think we're trying to get up to 24 non-land cards.
I don't know what to do.
So we're primarily Simic, we're splashing red, but take a look at these red cards and see what we've got. Fissure Wizard.
Yeah.
It is a wizard which synergizes with
Rabid Bite and
the Chilling Trap and Umara Mystic. However, when we're splashing this color, it's a lot easier to get to that color when your cards are expected to come into play later, and 2 CMC is pretty early for your color splash, so I'm a little hesitant to throw that in here. That said, Royal Eruption is potentially a 2 CMC card that I would include in our splash color because we have Lotus Cobra, which means it's a little bit more flexible in some circumstances, and this has a pretty solid payoff late in the game. it can act as removal, or it can hit somebody's face directly.
Just getting into some extra damage. Which is good with like Grotech, Bugcatcher, Tearfake, Ambusher, those sorts of things.
So, looking at our party here, don't really have a lot of diversity party-wise. This is probably like the least party mechanic creatures I've had. We've got, I think, all wizards, except for one cleric and one rogue. So synchronized spellcraft is probably not going to cut it. Scavenge Blade, I'm tempted because we have flyers. In fact, we have 5 flyers. But I feel like it's better to include non-creature spells that are slowing our opponent down or removing their things, because our flyers will just keep poking through. So,
yeah, I think I'm at 24.
But one of those cards I have is a flip land, so.
Gotcha.
I think I just.
Oil Eruption, perhaps. We do have these cards. We have Stonework Pack Beast and Seagate Colossus.
I think it's just 41 cards.
Seagate Colossus is probably a 6 mana 7/5 a lot of the time.
Do some math.
I'm just not sure about that. We want to draw cards. We want to.
Well, and that's fine.
We want to cast instants and sorceries, but we have some important landfall triggers. Drawing cards, playing lands.
We just count this as a land all the time.
You know, I kind of just want to throw in this Felidar Retreat.
25, if I count those as land all the time.
So
which I'm okay with.
There's actually a reason to not play
No,
Needle
that's
Burst
crazy,
back,
Jimmy.
right?
It doesn't work. We have fixing
It's basic lands.
with
And
these
since I'm
party
using
creatures.
white from it,
Our fixing is a lot worse for a white enchantment.
yeah, I don't think there's a reason.
We're
that-
basically
like, you're actually better
relying on either drawing a plains, which we would have to include probably 2 of, or having our Lotus Cobra in play first, and then that
That's what
Felidar
I'm saying,
Retreat
like,
just ends up a
I
dead
was gonna
card in
play
the hand.
that,
So
but I was like, wait a second.
it's not going to happen.
Fyleth is only, basics. Alright.
So,
So your boy's 17
initial
here.
thought is,
I think maybe it's just a chilling trap, slowing our opponent down, potentially drawing us a card. And again, it's pretty likely that we have a wizard in play because we have 2 wizards on 2, on 3, and on 4.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Oh, I guess the other question is, you gotta play
I think this is what I'm going to try today.
becomes a little bit more.
So
Yeah.
grab some lands and try to figure out what that distribution is going to be.
I guess figure out where things come across here.
All right, so we are Simic. Simic first, other things later.
I did disappoint, I wanted to play something other than rules for this.
Simic first.
It is.
We do have this Riverglide pathway
This was by far.
and our base camp.
Well, that's the thing. To figure out what I wanted to play.
So
Yeah, that bad.
And, well, not necessarily.
we're going to have 17 lands.
All of
Need
them
to
that
split
I've
15.
opened so far. One, I've had 2
15, maybe put in
and I just put them together and
a couple of mountains.
Made a deck. It was just a deck.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, you just don't think about it. This one, I've already
And that
played
leaves us
there.
with
2,
13 lands to
I wanted
fill.
play
So we probably want,
Yeah.
it seems a little bit more blue than green. So 17 lands, we've already got 4, we need 13. Then we'll just do 7 blue and 6
So if
forest.
you do
Is what it looks like.
the numbers right. So you have 4, 10, and 11.
I'm just gonna step over here and grab some lands.
17 lands. So don't not counting this, right? Break down 2.72 lands, 6.8 lands, and 7.48 lands. If you're actually routing it 3.
So it looks like I'm short 1 island.
7. That's actually 17.
Yeah. I mean,
And I have. And that's it. So I have that there's 2 red and then 1 green.
Okay. I think this one is a little risky. I'm not used to spreading my colors so thin, but technically, you know, we have 3 different cards that help fix our mana.
you do have another red.
And I think the average power level of our cards is pretty solid.
I thought that.
So
Red border and red.
I'm excited to see how this goes. I guess that's going to be it for this draft. Definitely comment any questions you have. And I'm going to be playing a few matches with this right after this, so tune in for those videos if you want to see how this performs. Thank you guys so much, and see you next time.
Yeah.
As much as I want to.